Dear viewers, welcome to this Expert Speaks program. Last Friday, Chartered Accountant C.A. Sriram brought to you the budget proposals with respect to the taxation and its new versions for this financial year. Today, again, we are going to discuss the implications of Budget 2024, but this time we are going to talk about how it will impact the economy, how it will impact the stock market, and how it can impact the investor in you. Today, we are going to talk to Expert of the Week, Chartered Accountant, businessman, past IRS officer, my popular faculty member, Mr. D.B. Mehta. This is NRI Money Clinic for you, and I am Dr. Chandrakant Bhatt, your financial guide for a happy living.
NRI Money Clinic. No hype, just the right advice.
Dear viewers, to talk about the Budget 2024, its impact on the Indian economy, Indian stock market, how it may impact the prospects of making money out of India in the next 5 years. Today's expert is Mr. D.B. Mehta. Mr. D.B. Mehta, you have seen him on multiple occasions prior. He primarily comes on the channel to talk about the real estate, which is his favorite topic. He was the past president of Mangalore Stock Exchange, a past IRS officer. He has deep interest in various aspects of business, and he handles stock market related issues on a day-to-day basis. Welcome to this episode, Mr. D.B. Mehta.
Thank you for calling me.
Mr. D.B. Mehta, you are probably the best person to talk about the impact of Budget 2024 on various aspects of the economy. You are a chartered accountant by profession, a businessman by practice, and you have the administrative, bureaucratic experience being an IRS officer. One thing which stood out was Nirmala Sitharaman's budget was short of any sensational announcement. At least for the viewers of the budget, they felt that they were let down. What do you see as a past bureaucrat, a practicing businessman, a chartered accountant by education? What was your feelings when you heard the budget?
Budget is an ongoing process. So it is just one step forward each year. And this budget is nothing but one step forward in the progress of Indian economy. Now, coming to the part whether there was any sensational policy announcement or not, that's not the job of the finance minister. But we as viewers and we as individuals, we want some sensational news out of every budget. I can only say one thing, that the finance minister made all the women very happy by reducing the customs duty on gold and silver, especially gold, by 9%. So gold prices virtually come down by 4,500 to 5,000 rupees. And wedding season, which is just coming in the next couple of months, it would really make women very happy to buy gold at a lower rate. So that's the only sensation about this budget.
When you say Nirmala Sitharaman made very happy all women folk in the country, I remember one of the comments which were made when Sriram was talking about the taxation aspect, and one viewer went on and commented that Nirmala auntie has made a pickle budget out of this. Looks like that they are also looks like that it is pleasing the women folk on that.
See, if you look at the four pillars of the budget, it's basically women, youth, farmers, and the poor. Nothing is for the poor in this budget, but a lot is there for women. And a lot is there for the youth, especially the unemployed youth. And for farmers also, there are a lot of schemes and improvement in the outlay. The total outlay on women and girl child has been increased to a whopping 3.2 lakh crores. So the government is very, very clear that women needs to be brought into the economic activity, and they need a bigger support than anybody else. And the other focus is on the unemployed youth. So these are the two main focus areas of the budget.
One thing which stood very prominent in this budget is, looks like the coalition politics is back. There is a large allocation which has been made to both Andhra as well as Bihar, the partners in this NDA government. Is it that the coalition politics is back? Will it take a toll on the Indian economy? Will it be the root cause of destabilization of government going forward? What do you make out of these allocations which are given to Andhra and Bihar?
See, if you look at the coalition government from 2004 to 2014, major party was in a much weaker position, and the coalition partners had a very strong upper hand, which led to a lot of corrupt practices. You won't see that happening in the Modi 3.0. But what will happen is, to keep the government going in a smooth way, the coalition partners will definitely take their pound of flesh. It would be naive to think that they will be, playing along with Modi and, NDA government. It won't happen. Okay. And this has happened in the past. So it is nothing new. It's part of the coalition government. But one interesting feature I have seen in this budget, the amount that has been doled out is not in direct grant to the state. The amount that has been doled out to these two specific states is in terms of projects, and most of these projects will be implemented by the center. So the question of coalition partners, considering this as their personal fiefdom and, indulging into corrupt practices, that is not going to happen. That's for sure. Even if you talk about Bihar, you look at what has been given. 26,000 crores of highway projects, road activities, which is going to be done by the central government. 21,400 crores power project, which is going to be implemented by the central government. 11,500 crores would be for the flood relief, which will be only implemented by the state government. So it is not that all this 50 plus thousand crores has been handed over to Bihar. Same coming to Andhra Pradesh, where are the investments going to come in? Investments are going to come in 15,000 crores through multilateral funding agencies to the state government. So multilateral funding agencies, when they come in, there's an audit of the fund usage, where it is used, and, the tendering processes and all are very strictly monitored. It is not that the state government is getting a grant of 15,000 crores from the central government to develop their new capital. So the way the funding is being done is very, very innovative, leaves very little scope for the state governments to indulge in, mass-scale corruption. The end result will be seen in this kind of development. And it's pretty impressive the way this coalition pressure has been handled.
A deep dive into this budget says it's all about now a focus light is on rural side, the farmer side, the unemployment. Is it a proactive step that the government has taken to sort out the issue, or government has been arm twisted to do this because of the drubbing it got during the recent election? It read the election result, the stress in the economy, and it wanted to do something to pacify the angry voters that the focus has been shifted towards the rural and unemployment side.
The election results is nothing but a reflection of the ground reality. And the writing was on the wall, that there's a distress in the rural economy, there's a distress in the unorganized sector, there's a distress in the agriculture sector, and that got reflected in the election results. Now, it is but obvious that government would want to address that. Otherwise this distress will further get enhanced. And, the other state elections that are lined up, the results will not be good for the government. So, if you see the agriculture sector layout, it's been increased by almost 27,000 crores, by almost 20%. If you see the rural development layout, from 1.6 lakhs crores, it has been increased to 1.8 lakh crores. If you look at Manrega, from 60,000 crores is increased to 86,000 crores, and so on and so forth. So there has been a very high increase in the budget expenditure to address this distress in the rural segment, in the unemployment youth segment, in the unorganized segment, in MSME segment. And it's not that this money is given as a freebie. See, the government could have adopted a very easy method by increasing farmers' dole from 7,200 a year, if I am not wrong, to maybe 15,000, But they didn't go that route. They have taken a route by improving the infrastructure, improving the deliveries. Say, take the example of Bhu Aadhaar, land registry, digitization of land records. These are the methods they are using to bring the rural economy also into the digital format, so that the growth is brought to the rural sector also.
One of the very confusing thing which happened to the stock markets was during the budget presentation, market appeared like giving up and market started going down. There were the short sellers. But before the end of the same day, markets were where they are. Markets are finding it difficult to take a direction, be it the up, be it the down. Markets spent time there for next 3 days. However, the Friday, 26th, markets cheered the budget with a rally of close to 1,200. Why did the market move? Is it that thinking that finally the budget is pro-economy and it is likely to result in a better conditions going forward. Is that the message market is giving?
See, the day of the budget, the market fell primarily for two reasons. One was the increase in the long-term capital gain tax from 10 to 12.5%. Because in any case, for the equity investors, there was no indexation benefit. So it's a pure increase in tax by 25% on the long-term capital gains from 10 to 12.5%. And even on the short-term capital gains, the tax was increased from 15% to 20%. So that is again 1/3 increase in the taxation. Similarly, if you look at the F&O, the STT was increased 5 times from 0.02% to 0.1%. Now, this kind of impact was a direct impact on the stock market related investments and speculative activity. You get a feeling from the budget when you see all the schemes put together that the government was, actively using budget to temper down the speculative activity of the stock market. So somewhere the feeling you got on that day was that the government was little alarmed on the overbought position of the market and over speculative position of the market. And that brought in the first day reaction. But just 2-3 days down the line, when, budget was well analyzed, well understood, it's a progressive budget, no doubt about it. It is focusing more on the rural economy, on women, on unemployed youth, and on infrastructure, on manufacturing, renewable energy, and so many other sectors. So the progress of the economy is guaranteed through this budget. So the question of world slowing down and having a huge negative impact on India is not visible in this budget. And that has brought about the rally in the stock market.
One another interesting observation made by me is, while the public is busy making memes out of the finance minister for getting nothing out from tax cuts or whatever it is, but the opposition is relaxing, telling that it's a copycat budget, to say that all that government did was in the manifesto of the opposition. Is opposition in a subtle way is endorsing what government is doing?
See, they are endorsing what the government has done, but they are giving just twist to this story by saying that it's a copycat budget, it's a saving grace for their line of political ideology. But what I personally would take on this budget is, it's a progressive budget, growth-oriented budget, and it's a budget where fiscal prudence has been given a tremendous importance. The year after the COVID, our fiscal deficit was 9.2%. It has been progressively brought down to 4.9% in this year, and in the next year, the target is 4.5%. If you look at debt to GDP ratio, 3 years back, it was 89%. In this year, it has been brought down to 81%, and next year target is 79%. If you look at external debt to GDP ratio, again, there's a reduction of 2.5%. So from fiscal discipline point of view, it's a fantastic budget. Government could have used more fiscal leverage and gone for more subsidies and, more freebies. But government has resisted that despite poor performance in the election.
This is Modi 3.0. Now, in the last 2 terms, there was a pattern which was seen in successive budgets. See, they plugged the loopholes. They started simplifying the tax codes. They started preventing seepage, which was happening in the sector because of conflict of rules or for any reason. Now, in this budget, in Modi 3.0, do you see a continuation pattern, or have they deviated from this the previous 10 budgets of this Modi rule?
I won't say they have deviated. But what has happened is in the last few years, a lot of schemes have been announced. So all the schemes are work in progress. So, the better sense that I get in this budget is the focus is more on, completing the implementation of the ongoing schemes, ongoing projects, rather than announcing new schemes every year. But then you will have too many things on your plate and nothing will be accomplished. So that's a very good strategy which this government is deploying in through its budget. The second point which I am very, very clear about is that simplification is an ongoing process, and this government is listening. So not many have noticed that on some 6 items of TDS, the rates have been rationalized from a high rate of 5% to 2%. So the government is listening. It's not that it wants to do everything without understanding the pain point, what people are having. So that's a very good thing, because whatever has not been addressed in this budget, you have a hope at least it will get addressed in the next budget.
See, one of the things which happened during this budget is change in the capital gains structure for the real estate. It's just not the real estate. So they said all assets will have similar capital gains structure, and it impacted the real estate as well. You have read through the budget, the fine prints of it. How does the real estate sector, of which you are an expert, get affected because of the provisions which are made in this budget?
See, real estate sector, we sometimes fail to understand that there are two parts to the real estate. The first part is investment in land or plots alone. The second part is investment in a built-up house or an apartment. Both are different because any built-up structure depreciates, and the appreciation in a built-up structure is little muted because of the depreciation of the built-up structure compared to the investment in land. So with this rationalization in LTCG without indexation for the real estate, the tax outlay will be little more for those who have inherited lands or those who have bought lands in from 2001 onwards. But it will be a tax saving benefit for those who have bought apartments from 2010 onwards. And those who are going to buy apartments even today for an investment for the next 10-15 years. Because this indexation does not help the apartments so much. It helps the land so much because the growth, the rate of income, the rate of appreciation of the land is much higher than the rate of appreciation of an apartment. So according to me, this is a positive factor that the tax outlay will come down for the real estate investors. And the second way I look at it is, those who have bought land or inherited land and those who are going to sell now or in the years to come, for them, even if the tax outlay is more, they have an option to invest under 54F. They can buy a house and save the tax. So that will in turn bring in more demand for the built-up space. See, for a simple example, I'll give you that, if you had land bought 20 years back and with indexation, you are making say around 50 lakhs profit, your tax outlay was only 10 lakhs. And 50 lakhs is a very small capital gains to invest, or 10 lakhs is a very small amount of taxation to invest in a house under 54F. Now you look at the new scenario. Your gains may be around 1 crore plus, or maybe even 2 crores. Your tax liability may be 15 lakhs to 25 lakhs. Now you have ability to save that tax by investing in 54F, because otherwise you'll end up paying much more. So I see the flip side of it is positive for new investment.
All of us had expectations from this budget. All of us had our own ambition looking for. Somebody was a reduction of taxation. Somebody was expecting some relief for some sector. As a market participant, what do you feel are the hits and misses from this budget?
We talked about taxation. Let me give you a comparison. If you look at the Western world, say like the US or the European Union, different countries there, you are taxed at 10% above the minimum wages straight away. In India, minimum wages, if you take as around 15,000 per month, we should be taxed above 1,80,000 at 10%. But in India, we have given over the year, budget after budget, so much of relaxation that you may not pay even 1 rupee income tax till the time you have maybe 7.5 lakhs income or 8 lakhs income. That's the way all these benefits have been added and it's come to that. And how much more relaxation can a government give budget after budget? Even this year, if you look at it, for those who are earning up to 15 lakhs a year, 17,500 tax relief has already been provided in this budget, And there are added benefits, if you add the LTCG benefit and other benefits, because that exemption has been increased from 1 lakh to 1,25,000. And those who are actually benefiting because of the lower LTCG of 12.5%, that benefit is also in addition. So it's not that this budget has not given anything to the middle class, but the problem with the people is, our expectations are too high and government has its own limitations.
I understand these predicaments of finance minister, irrespective of the party in power, irrespective of the person in that particular chair. It's a balancing act. You can't make each and everyone happy. But the least that we could have expected was a bitter medicine could have been given with a sweet coating. But this is the first time probably I'm seeing that a bitter medicine has been given with a bitter outer coating. That's how it looks like. So everybody was up in arms, telling that we didn't get anything for having voted this BJP government. Anyway, that apart, you are an economist, you are a businessman, you are a past IRS officer, you are a real estate person. How will you rate this budget on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'll answer your question in two parts. Okay, one part is in terms of economic growth, fiscal discipline, different schemes, addressing all the sectors. I would give this budget 8.5 out of 10. But if you ask me in terms of new generation reforms, bold steps taken, something very spectacular being done, I would give it only 5 out of 10.
Thank you, Mr. Mehta, for all these points for the benefit of our viewers. Let's only hope that in the next budget, Nirmala Sitharaman has heard our views and we'll get something sweet elixir to soothe all our expectations and where she has rubbed us on wrong side. And let's hope that better things to cool us all come in the next budget. Thank you very much for your time to attend to this program.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Dear viewers, hope the video that I have done today helped you to understand the proposals of the budget in a little bit more in details with a cool mind, with an analytical mind. It looks like that this budget is progressive, and that's what the stock market has cheered 3 days down the line. I have spoken to a lot of people in the industry and everybody is talking about one thing that is for sure, the money will not be misutilized by this government. That's how it looks like. The pressures of coalition politics is back here, but it does not mean that the corruption have to come from the back door. Let's wait and see what happens in the years ahead. Thank you very much for watching this episode of NRI Money Clinic. Please do like this video. Please do share these videos. If you are yet to subscribe for the channel, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Do not forget to share these videos with all your friends and relatives and on all the WhatsApp groups on which you are connected with. Thank you very much for watching this episode of NRI Money Clinic. I shall be back with you with yet another expert, with yet another topic next Tuesday. Till then, stay safe. Jai Hind.
Press the bell icon for more details and subscribe our channel.